To earn money for our tuition fees, my best friend, Hannah Sue, and I decided to try online dating. I provided the photos, and she handled the emotional support. Little did we know, we'd end up encountering two scammers ourselves. One claimed to be an A-list celebrity in the entertainment industry. The other called himself a Crown Prince of Beijing's elite society. Though neither spoke a truthful word, they were surprisingly generous. Just as we'd earned enough for tuition and were preparing to back out, that cold, arrogant A-list celebrity suddenly posted my photo on Weibo, publicly declaring his love. The Crown Prince of Beijing immediately reposted the celebrity's post with a question mark, as if to say, "What do you mean, publicly declaring love and posting my asterisk girlfriend's picture?" Weibo exploded. I burst into tears, trembling as I asked my best friend Hannah Sue, "What do we do now? They're serious." Hannah Sue and I were two orphans adopted by a gang leader. Initially, he intended to train us to be his right-hand women. He wanted to teach us how to swindle people, but we'd stammer every time we opened our mouths. He tried to train us to fight, but the moment we entered a match, we'd kneel and call our opponents, "Great hero." After we grew a little older, he sent us to a nightclub to work as hostesses. But not only did no one ask for us, we also ate too much. In the end, the nightclub had to send us back. Helpless, the gang leader decided to send us to school. After the university entrance exam, he looked at our scores. One got 670, the other 665, and froze. At that moment, he realized with despair that besides academics, we had no other talents whatsoever. Looking into our innocent eyes, he suddenly turned away. "Don't even dream about it. I've already been kind enough to let you finish high school. University tuition, don't even dream." With that, he threw us and our luggage out of the house, leaving only one sentence. "You too got such high scores, consider yourselves lucky. I won't make you pay back years of tuition. From now on, you're on your own." And so, my best friend and I began our days wandering the streets. We didn't have a penny to our names and nowhere to go. We'd even gone hungry for 3 days straight, our vision blurring. Passing by an eatery, the delicious smell of food stopped me in my tracks. Tears welled up as I tugged Hannah's arm. "I can't take it anymore. Should we go back and beg the gang leader for forgiveness? If we keep going like this, we'll starve to death." Hannah looked at me with disappointment. "We just escaped with such difficulty, and you want to go back. Once we enroll in university, we'll have a place to stay. After graduating, we'll start a new life." But even as she spoke, her own stomach rumbled. Hannah was flustered but remained stubborn. "No matter what, I'm not going back." Her words were so resolute that I could only stand by the roadside, shamefully swallowing my saliva as I stared at a steamed bun stall. Suddenly, she stared at me intently, as if an idea had just struck her. "Vivian Song, I just realized you're actually quite pretty." Hearing her compliment, I felt a surge of pride. "Of course, have you forgotten? In high school, quite a few guys confessed to me. If they hadn't constantly bothered me and distracted me, my university entrance exam score might not have been 5 points lower than yours." Hannah smirked contemptuously. "That 50 yuan water bottle, I bought it for 45 yuan. That's a 10% discount, girl." She changed the subject. "No, now's not the time for this. Quickly make that pathetic expression you just had again." I looked at her, bewildered. "What are you planning?" "Don't ask, just do it." Although I had no idea what Hannah Sue was up to, I followed her instructions, because from childhood, she had never been wrong when telling me to do something. She raised her phone, asterisk snap asterisk, and took a picture of me. Then she quickly typed something on her phone. Just as I leaned in to see what she was doing, she confidently held the screen out to me. "Look, we have money for food today." I pressed my face close to the screen, then shrieked. 500 yuan. Before I could even ask her where the money came from, I immediately dragged her into the nearest restaurant. After eating our fill, I finally remembered the important question. "Where on earth did you get that money?" But Hannah Sue avoided my gaze, refusing to answer. No one understood her better than me, and I knew this was the telltale sign of someone who had just done something shady. Thinking back to earlier when she asked for my photo, I couldn't help but make a wild guess. "Don't tell me, Hannah Sue, you used my picture to borrow money? Are you even human?" She quickly waved her hands. No, I would never do that." I looked at her, full of suspicion. "Then what did you do with my picture? Don't tell me you sold me." Hannah Sue nodded. My eyes immediately widened, but then she shook her head again. "Sort of, but not exactly." I clenched my hand, putting it on her neck, threatening. "Speak now, what exactly have you been up to?" She had no choice but to show me her phone to reveal the source of the money. It turned out that she had befriended a stranger in a game. They often chatted. Just now, that person messaged her, so she sent my picture along with a caption. "Oh my friend says I look like I haven't eaten in days, and that steamed bun next to me looks so juicy." I looked at Hannah Sue's message, nearly throwing up everything I had just eaten. But she, thick-skinned, showed no shame. Vivian Song, what's with that expression? I'm telling you, men are most easily fooled by these kinds of messages. If you don't believe me, scroll down and see. I scrolled down to check. The other person didn't say another word, simply transferred 500 yuan directly. I stared at Hannah Sue as if looking at an alien. She became flustered under my gaze, stammering, "Oh, don't look at me like that. I sacrificed my image to get you food. Why do you look so betrayed? Hey, don't be like that. At most, I'll transfer the money back to him and block him, okay?" Hearing this, I couldn't believe my ears. "Hannah Sue, what on earth are you saying? Why would you want to delete our cash cow?" Hannah Sue looked at me, completely bewildered. "What do you mean?" 5 minutes later, Hannah Sue propped her chin on her hand, looking at me. "You mean, use your pictures to online date him and then extract money for our tuition?" I nodded with satisfaction. Exactly, not a single word wrong. But she showed a hint of uneasiness. If it were anyone else, it would be fine, but this guy. Asked, puzzled, "What's wrong?" Hannah Sue pointed to her head. "This guy seems to have some issues. He keeps insisting he's an A-list celebrity in the entertainment industry." Hearing this, I nearly burst out laughing. I couldn't understand what kind of people Hannah Sue befriended to be able to chat for so long with someone so delusional. Seeing her resentful gaze, I immediately suppressed my laughter. "Damn it, now is not the time to laugh." I slapped my thigh, a righteous expression on my face. "Isn't that perfect? If he thinks he's an A-list celebrity, he must also think he's very rich. That way, it'll be even easier for us to get money from him." Hannah Sue looked at me, utterly astonished. "No way, Vivian Song, you want to scam even a fool's money. Vivian Song, if it really doesn't work out, let's just try to do some extra work for these 2 months. I couldn't help but retort, "Haven't we tried to find work for the past 3 days? The moment they heard we were summer students starting university in September, they practically chased us out. Tell me, where can we find a job now?" Hannah Sue was about to argue but realized I was telling the truth. I patted her shoulder, comforting her. "Don't think of it so seriously. Just consider it a loan from him. When we get to university and have money, we'll pay him back. That's not really a scam." Hearing me say that, Hannah Sue wavered slightly. "All right then, we're making a deal. When we have money in university, we must pay him back." I nodded firmly. "Absolutely. A promise made is a promise kept." Although Hannah Sue agreed to the plan of extracting money from the fake A-list celebrity, she still felt that scamming only him didn't sit right with her conscience. So she immediately posted my picture on social media with a caption, "Starving for food." But less than 5 minutes later, I looked at the flood of 99 likes, comments, and private messages, too many to read. I instantly froze. You just posted it." Hannah Sue nodded. "That's right. I told you you're actually quite pretty. When we get to the guest house, we'll filter through all these men's private messages and comments." I asked, puzzled. "Hannah Sue, we need money, so finding a rich person should be enough. Why do we need to filter?" She immediately cut me off. "Of course we need to filter. Think about it, what if someone like him just pretends to be rich but is actually dirt poor? This type of man might even begrudge us a cup of bubble tea, let alone pay for our tuition. Second, we have to make sure our online dating target is single. We can't touch other people's marital assets." I nodded, showing I understood. "Ah, so we're ethical scammers." Hannah Sue agreed with my summary. After a strict filtering process from the pile of harassing messages, we finally selected a serious candidate. Although his ID was Prince of Beijing, which sounded a bit boastful, we chose him for no other reason than that while others were talking crudely, he simply sent a few words. 1000, add WeChat. After analyzing his account, Hannah Sue drew the following conclusions. First, the IP address of his posts frequently changed between foreign countries and different cities, proving he either had a good job that required frequent travel or was a wealthy kid who loved to travel. Second, there was no trace of any woman on his account. He didn't post anything romantic on Valentine's Day or other holidays, meaning there was an 80% chance he didn't have a girlfriend. Hannah Sue nodded to me. "This guy seems stable. The post can be deleted now. We can focus on fishing, focus on online dating." But as we huddled together on the small bed in the guest house, we looked at each other awkwardly. "Hannah Sue, what's the next step?" "Good question. You're not good at talking, are you? Hurry up and message him." Hannah Sue was flustered. Before, when I chatted with that fake A-list celebrity, I just treated him like a friend. But now, with such a clear objective, I don't know where to start. We were still hesitating when he sent a message. The phone vibrated, making us jump and throw it several feet away. Vivian Song, you go see what he messaged. No, I've already sacrificed my looks. Now it's your turn to provide emotional value. After a brief struggle, Hannah Sue finally picked up the phone. She saw that the Crown Prince had directly transferred 1,000 yuan with a short message. My old man told me to go discuss a project. Talk later tonight. Seeing this message, Hannah Sue burst out laughing. Vivian Song, what kind of luck do we have? Every day we stumble upon these guys who live in fantasy. And my old man, too, I almost thought I was reading a CEO romance novel. I looked at the message and couldn't help but laugh along. Hannah Sue immediately messaged back, "Okay, young master, I'll wait for you." The other side was silent for a moment, then replied, "Good girl." I finally couldn't hold back anymore. This guy reads too many CEO novels. He's totally immersed in the role. Hannah Sue nodded in agreement. This role-playing is spot on. But in the very next second, the Crown Prince's message made both of us instantly fall silent because he had just transferred another 2,000 yuan with the note, "For bubble tea." Hannah Sue and I exchanged glances. All our previous ridicule vanished, replaced by a profound respect for this Crown Prince. From this moment on, I would wholeheartedly revere him as a true Prince of Beijing. While the Crown Prince was offline, Hannah Sue tried to foster a deeper connection with the fake A-list celebrity. But surprisingly, after only a few messages, he said he suddenly had work and wouldn't be free until later that evening. Hannah Sue curiously asked what he was busy with. He replied that his schedule was packed for the day and he would text back when he was free. Hannah Sue couldn't help but mock him. This guy is so deep into his role, he's acting this much. But her fingers didn't stop typing. HMPH, you're naughty, you've never been this busy when talking to me before. You don't like me anymore, do you? You can't do that. Though she complained, her face clearly showed she was delighted. Perfect. My idol has a new movie premiere tonight, so I'll have time to watch it. I looked at the message Hannah Sue just sent, puzzled. No way, do we really have to use this tone when texting? She elbowed me. Don't you know? These gloomy types of men love this kind of whiny behavior the most. If you don't believe me, check our old messages. Half believing, half doubting, I opened her chat history with the fake A-list celebrity. Then I fell silent. Wow, big brother, you're so good at gaming, and your avatar is beautiful too. My eyes widened. Hannah Sue, is a beautiful avatar even something worth complimenting? She zoomed in on his profile picture. Look. This is the male lead from the drama I've been following lately. He's incredibly handsome. For a man to be able to appreciate the beauty of others, isn't that a valuable quality? She spoke philosophically, making me furrow my brow in thought. But when I looked at the fake A-list celebrity's reply, my eyes nearly rolled back. It's nothing special. Someone just casually took this picture. I pointed at the message and asked directly, "You believed this too?" Hannah Sue immediately retorted, "Believe what?" Of course not, otherwise I wouldn't have told you this guy has issues. I was speechless. Then how could you talk to him for so long? Hannah Sue replied, very reasonably. Of course, it's because he's good at gaming. As long as I flatter him a few times, he'll carry me to victory in the game. It's such a good deal, why wouldn't I do it? I thought for a moment and found it reasonable. After all, with just a few casual messages, he had sent us 500 yuan for food. I continued to read the chat. Hannah Sue's next message made me even more speechless. Big brother, you're so special, unlike any man I've ever met. You give me a sense of loneliness, both close and distant. I've heard many people say they're lonely, but I think your loneliness is the real loneliness. Reading this, I couldn't hold back anymore. Hannah Sue, do you think he doesn't browse the internet? You just copied and pasted these standard pickup lines directly to him. Hannah Sue shrugged helplessly. He probably really doesn't browse the internet. Look at his reply message. I continued reading below and found the fake A-list celebrity's reply with a touch of innocence and foolishness. You really think so? You're the only one who's ever understood me. No one has ever said these words to me. Everyone thinks I'm a star, the center of attention, but I'm actually very lonely. I looked at Hannah Sue and said, honestly, for him to be so deep in character, you're partly responsible. Hannah Sue replied seriously, I just can't bear to be a dream thief and shatter other people's fantasies. Anyway, let's not talk about him anymore. The drama I'm following is about to have its premiere press conference. Honestly, I'm not a fangirl, but this drama is really good. The male lead is handsome too, truly worthy of being a top idol in Cient right now. So I tossed my phone aside and sat with Hannah Sue in front of the old TV in the guest house to watch the press conference. But after waiting for ages, the male lead didn't appear. Instead, a man in a black suit with a stern face appeared on screen. However, there was no denying that he was very handsome. I pointed at the screen and turned to Hannah Sue, asking, "Do you know who he is?" She looked closely, vaguely familiar, but couldn't recall a character like that in the drama. She picked up her phone to search. A few seconds later, she slapped her thigh. "Ah, I remember. This is the Crown Prince of Beijing. His family invested in this drama, so it's normal for him to attend the press conference." After she spoke, we looked at each other, then both flashed cunning smiles and said in unison, "The Crown Prince of Beijing." The real Crown Prince was busy attending the press conference, unaware of how many billions the online Crown Prince had successfully negotiated. So we decided to message him. "Big brother, is the project discussion over?" He replied briefly. So. Hannah Sue looked at the message and couldn't help but laugh. "Still acting. Big brother, you're lying to me, aren't you? You're actually at a press conference." The other side was clearly hesitant for a moment. A little later, a message came. "How did you know?" Unbelievable. He lied without even preparing. One moment he was discussing a project, the next he was at a press conference. Hannah Sue immediately seized the opportunity. "Big brother, you're at a press conference but told me you were discussing a project. There must be many beautiful actresses at the press conference, right? No wonder you had to hide it from me. It's okay, I can accept it." I immediately gave Hannah Sue a thumbs up. Only she could pull this off. The other person seemed flustered, sending several messages in a row. "I couldn't disclose too much, so I told you I was discussing a project. Don't overthink it, I'm not the type to lie." Immediately after, a transfer message appeared. "The Crown Prince sent us 10,000 yuan with the note. Sorry, buy yourself a gift." I swallowed, turning to pinch Hannah Sue's arm hard. "I'm not seeing things, am I? He just sent 10,000 yuan without even batting an eyelid." Hannah Sue was also stunned. "No way, how can someone have so much money? Oh my God, if there was one more rich person like me in the world, would it kill someone?" Just then, a clap of thunder boomed outside. We were so scared we hugged each other tightly. Hannah Sue angrily yelled, "I get it. Is it really going to kill someone if I become rich? You don't have to use this method to remind me." The next morning, we faced the chat window of the fake A-list celebrity, planning aloud. "Hannah Sue, quickly remind him about the money. Don't forget you're a gold digger." Hannah Sue seemed tense. "What do I do? I'm really too embarrassed." "Embarrassed about what? How you accepted 500 last time, just do it that way now." She cleared her throat, speaking softly and sweetly. "Big brother, the new game has such beautiful new skins. I love them so much." Sure enough, the other side immediately transferred 200 yuan. Although after experiencing the generosity of the Crown Prince, this 200 yuan no longer astonished us. With the spirit of "every little bit helps," we happily accepted the money. But unexpectedly, 10 minutes later, the fake A-list celebrity messaged again. "Xiao Jing, why haven't I seen you buy the new skin yet?" Hannah Sue closed her eyes and sighed. "No way. Did we just get the money and now we have to actually buy the skin? Xiao Jing, hurry up and buy it. I've already bought it, just waiting for you to buy yours so we can play together." There was no other way. We gritted our teeth and used the 200 yuan we just received to buy the in-game skin, comforting ourselves. No sacrifice, no wolf hunting. There will definitely be more opportunities to extract money. Sure enough, that evening, the Crown Prince messaged us again. Although there was only one word, "Here," we could smell the faint scent of money in the air. We immediately replied with the utmost flattery. "Here, here, why young master?" Normally, the Crown Prince was very cold and our messages were rarely replied to. Today was the first time he actively messaged first. This kind of money-making opportunity absolutely could not be missed. "You're very much like a friend of mine." Hannah Sue and I immediately exchanged knowing glances. Replacing the old one. We understand. Every seasoned CEO who has experienced unfulfilled love has a first love who has left the country. Of course, it's also possible this is just a way for the Crown Prince to start a conversation. As online girlfriends providing emotional value, we immediately flattered him. "Big brother, to be able to remember a friend for so long proves you're truly very loyal." The Crown Prince slowly typed a few words. "Not necessarily. I hate her very much." Seeing this message, Hannah Sue and I both paused. Wait a minute, this script isn't normal. Before we could even think of how to reply, a new message arrived. "Before, I used to wish she would disappear forever. I didn't expect her to actually disappear. So when I saw your photo, I was a bit surprised." A chill ran down Hannah Sue's and my spines. Were two cowards like us, who only wanted to scam tuition money, actually running into a pervert? He wasn't planning on making me disappear too, was he? But immediately after, the next message came. But now I've thought it through. Perhaps this is the punishment she meant for me. Can you sing a song for me? She loved the song Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star the most. Hearing the name of the song, my mouth twitched slightly. Crown Prince, isn't your friend a little too young? I was about to open my mouth to sing when Hannah Sue raised her hand to stop me. Vivian's song, shut up. Don't you know how terrible your singing voice is? I paused, then nodded guiltily. Ah, right. I shut my mouth, full of shame. For some reason, ever since I was little, every time I sang, I was off-key and piercing, to the point no one could stand it. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't fix it. Hannah Sue once said, maybe it's genetic, my parents probably sang badly too. Every time I remembered this, I felt a pang of bitterness. They gave birth to me. Not only were they not around, but they also left me with such a terrible gene. Unlike Hannah Sue, who was both intelligent and sang beautifully, I turned to look at her. At this moment, Hannah Sue was singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star to the Crown Prince with great enthusiasm. The song ended, and we were filled with anticipation, waiting for the Crown Prince's reaction, and even more so hoping that after listening, he might happily transfer 18,000 yuan, for example. Unexpectedly, he said, "No, this isn't the feeling I want." Although we didn't get the desired answer, we knew that the customer was king. So Hannah Sue changed her style and sang it again and again, but who knew the Crown Prince was still not satisfied. Hannah Sue completely collapsed. She turned to me. "You sing it for him. Let him know what it's really like to completely ruin a song." I hesitated a bit. After all, my singing voice really was a disaster. I was afraid the Crown Prince would delete us after hearing it. But under Hannah Sue's coercive gaze, I cautiously started to sing, and as always, the pitch flew straight to Mars. Unexpectedly, this time the Crown Prince excitedly sent a message. Amazing, truly amazing. He even added 3 exclamation marks. Hannah Sue and I stared at the phone screen, wondering if our ears were working correctly, so we replayed the recording of my singing to listen again. After listening, we were even more bewildered. The Crown Prince sent another message. "This is it, I finally found that feeling again." Immediately after, he transferred 5,000 yuan. Hannah Sue silently accepted the money. Consider this compensation for my emotional damage. I was also speechless. This guy is so rich, why doesn't he get his ears checked? So during the day, Hannah Sue played games with the fake A-list celebrity, and at night, I sang lullabies to the Crown Prince. After a summer of hard work, both the Crown Prince and the fake A-list celebrity were completely captivated by us. With just a single word, our accounts would immediately receive 5,200 yuan. We worked hard to save enough for tuition, but only when we enrolled in university did we realize, dumbfounded, that the university had tuition subsidies. Damn it, Vivian Song, are you only capable of these crooked ways of making money? You didn't even know the university has tuition subsidies. In the face of Hannah Sue's criticism, I angrily retorted, "Hannah Sue, do you have a conscience? Did I scheme for money for myself? Besides, you didn't know the school had tuition subsidies either." Since things had come to this, we stood outside the academic affairs office, filling out application forms for tuition subsidies, writing with regret. A female student passing by glanced at us. Seeing the application forms in our hands, she suddenly let out a cold laugh. Poor nobodies. Hannah Sue, being hot-tempered, immediately stood up. "So what if we're poor? It's better than being an airhead like you." The girl, apparently never having been insulted so directly, stared at Hannah Sue, utterly disbelieving. You just insulted me." Hannah Sue looked at her as if she were mentally challenged. Damn it, a dog's brain indeed, can't even tell when she's being insulted. Let's go. It's really bad luck to be in the same school as people with IQs equal to their shoe size. With that, before I could react, she dragged me away. But unexpectedly, when we finished filling out the tuition subsidy forms and returned to the dorm, we saw the same girl. She had also been assigned to share a room with us. Her name was Miyasu. Miyasu also recognized us, her face filled with disdain. What kind of room assignment is this school doing? Why am I sharing a room with people like asterisk this? Hearing that, Hannah Sue didn't reply, but just let out a cold laugh. Right in front of Miyasu, she split a watermelon in half with her bare hands. Not only was Hannah Sue hot-tempered, but she also possessed terrifying strength. Miyasu stared at the split watermelon, her face pale with fright. Hannah Sue looked at her and slowly said, "So, sharing a room with us makes you uncomfortable, huh?" though trembling a bit, Miyasu still tried to maintain her bravado. You dare threaten me? Do you know who my brother is? I won't let this go. With that, she ran out of the room in a panic. Hannah Sue and I continued to tidy the dorm. Suddenly, my phone vibrated continuously. The fake A-list celebrity. Honey, what are you doing? Transferring 5,200 yuan. The Crown Prince. Transferring 5,200 yuan. What are you doing? Hannah Sue and I opened our phones to check, cold sweat running down our backs. If it had been a few days ago, we would have happily accepted the money immediately. But now, everything was different. We had enough for tuition and no longer wanted to continue this path of deception, so we flat out returned the money. But unexpectedly, the two men were not pleased. The fake A-list celebrity. Honey, don't you love me anymore? Why aren't you accepting my money? The Crown Prince. Did I send too little this time? Transferring 52,000 yuan. I looked at the 5-digit number on the screen, my hands trembling violently. I was about to give in. Just as I was about to press accept, Hannah Sue immediately stopped me. Vivian Song, what are you doing? Are you going to accept money from men and become the type who just sits around waiting to be served? Don't you want to be an independent woman? I looked at Hannah Sue, my heart full of conflict. No, but Hannah Sue, don't you want to live an easy life? She replied decisively with one word. Yes, but we can't accept their money anymore. Our initial goal was just to earn enough for tuition. If we keep going like this, won't we become no different from the gang members who raised us? Actually, I was old enough that these righteous Dao Li no longer easily convinced me. But I could see that Hannah Sue truly didn't want to accept this money, so I still pressed the refund button. I thought she would be overjoyed, but to my surprise, she looked at me with astonishment. No way, Vivian Song, you really returned it. Hannah Sue looked at me, utterly surprised. I looked at her helplessly. Otherwise, you couldn't convince yourself to accept the money, so were you expecting me to convince you not to? We looked at each other and finally both sighed. Well, it seems we're not destined for an easy life. Let's rely on ourselves. Thinking of this, I suggested to Hannah Sue, how about we tell them everything, then return all the money we've received? After all, we only spent a little considerate compensation for our efforts. Hannah Sue nodded. You have a point, but how do we break up? I smirked. Simple. I picked up my phone. Without much thought, I typed out the first breakup message. First, to the fake A-list celebrity, I've thought long and hard. My time with you has truly been very happy, but I know there's no future for us. You're a top idol, and I'm just an ordinary person. You can't publicly acknowledge me, and I don't want a relationship without status. Let's break up. Immediately, I received a transfer of 20,000 yuan. Next, to the Crown Prince. Thank you for indulging me during this time, but you are a young master of Beijing's elite society, and I am just an ordinary person. The gap between us makes me feel inferior. We should end things here. Immediately, I received a transfer of 58,000 yuan. After that, I blocked and deleted them, handling it cleanly and perfectly. Hannah Sue watched my smooth operation, unable to help but give me a thumbs up. Vivian Song, you're amazing. You used their own tricks to end the game. I smugly tilted my chin. Of course, I rejected quite a few people in high school too, you know. With the big worry off our minds, Hannah Sue and I decided to go to a snack street near the school for a celebratory feast. But unexpectedly, we ran into our arch-nemesis, Miyasu. We found a roadside eatery and ordered our food, then noticed someone standing next to the owner. Vivian Song, isn't that the old hag from our room? I followed Hannah Sue's pointing hand. Sure enough, it was Miyasu. She stood in front of the owner, her face full of pleading. Ryan Chen, please, don't keep this stall here, okay? I have money. All my money can be yours to spend. I don't want you to work so hard. Hannah Sue and I exchanged wide-eyed glances. What? She just called us poor, and now she's trying to support another poor guy? Poor and sexist too. But what was even more surprising was that the owner completely ignored Miyasu. He was so indifferent he acted as if she wasn't even there. We immediately understood the situation. Miyasu wanted to financially support Ryan Chen, but he refused. The owner would rather earn his own money than depend on her. We didn't intend to interfere in other people's business, but unexpectedly, when we went to get our food, Miyasu, angered by being ignored, angrily kicked a nearby table. We were so startled that we dropped all our food. It splattered all over Miyasu. Miyasu shrieked, but when she saw us, she gnashed her teeth even harder. It's you two again? With that, she raised her hand to slap us, each of us. But just then, the owner grabbed Miyasu's wrist. Enough, Miyasu. How much longer do you plan to cause trouble? Miyasu angrily glared. Ryan Chen, why are you always siding with outsiders and not helping me? Don't you see what they've done to me? I quickly spoke up. Please, girl, if you hadn't suddenly kicked the table, we wouldn't have been startled and spilled food on you. Ryan Chen nodded. She's right. Mia Su's face turned red with anger, her eyes filled with hatred as she looked at us. I haven't even settled the score from this afternoon, and now you dare to cause trouble in front of me? Do you know who my brother is? My brother is Yansu, a top idol in the entertainment industry. And my childhood sweetheart is the Crown Prince of Beijing. Just one word from me, and you won't last in this city. Wait a minute. It's the top idol and the Crown Prince of Beijing again? Have we been haunted by these two recently? How many top idols and Crown Princes of Beijing are there? But at this moment, we were more concerned about something else. I crossed my arms and raised an eyebrow at her. Mia Su, if you have two high-quality men surrounding you, why are you still chasing this stall owner? Mia Su glared at us. What does it have to do with you? Do you believe I can tell my brother to make you disappear from social media? But before she could continue boasting, the crowd around us suddenly buzzed with excitement. People whispered, "Quick, look at Weibo. Yansu just went public with his girlfriend. I saw it. Oh my god, I didn't expect someone as cold as him to publicly post his girlfriend's picture. And his girlfriend is so beautiful, she could totally debut as a star too." Mia Su's expression was like she'd been struck by lightning. Yansu, that idiot, does he think he's some pure love idol? But when she opened her phone to check, her entire body instantly froze. Then she slowly turned to look at me, her eyes filled with astonishment. When did you charm my brother? I had no idea what she was talking about, but when Hannah Su and I opened Weibo to check, we both froze. The top idol Yansu had posted my picture on Weibo with the caption, publicly declaring love. Mia Su was so angry her hands trembled. You think you can become a phoenix by clinging to my brother? You're driving me crazy. As long as the Crown Prince of Beijing says one word, I guarantee you won't have a peaceful life in the capital. But no sooner had she finished speaking than cries of astonishment rang out around us again. Oh my god, the Crown Prince of Beijing, Ethan Ha, also went public with his girlfriend. Weibo today is truly shocking. Mia Su stood frozen, her face clearly showing confusion. But when she opened Weibo, that confusion quickly turned into unbelievable shock. I also quickly opened Weibo to see what had happened, and immediately I wanted to faint on the spot. On the screen was a verified account, the Crown Prince of Beijing, resharing Yansu's post with just a single question mark. But the destructive power was immense. What? You're going public and posting my girlfriend's picture? I staggered back, recalling what they had said. I suddenly realized that they hadn't been lying at all. I trembled, turning to look at Hannah Su, tears welling up. What do we do now? They're really serious. Hannah Su was also shocked pale, turning to me, whispering, Vivian Song, do you think it's still possible to withdraw our university applications? The truth proved it was too late. We hadn't even made it back to the dorm before the entire school's gaze was fixed on us on the way. Look, that's her, Yansu's girlfriend. How did she manage to win over Yansu? She looks like an ordinary person. Don't say that. If she can make both Yansu and the Crown Prince of Beijing fight over her, how can she be ordinary? Those two girls should open a flirting class. I'll be the first to sign up. Hannah Su and I just wanted to disappear into the ground immediately. I gritted my teeth and asked Hannah Su, tell me, why did you casually add a random person in a game, and that person turned out to be a top idol in the entertainment industry? Hannah Su angrily retorted, you have the nerve to talk to me. You just posted one casual post, and you hooked the Crown Prince of Beijing. I sighed helplessly. Hannah Su, maybe we're so unlucky, why don't we try buying a lottery ticket? Who knows, we might win the jackpot. But before I could finish my sentence, Hannah Su's eyes suddenly widened, her face panicked. Wait, Vivian Song, forget the lottery ticket. Look at the two people standing in front of the dorm. Do they look familiar? I followed her pointing hand. Below our dorm stood two towering young men. One wore a black suit, his features sharp and his demeanor cold. The other wore a white shirt and black trousers, a relaxed smile on his face, so handsome he seemed completely out of this world. I stared at the two men, then turned to ask Hannah Su, who are they? They're so handsome. Hannah Su couldn't take it anymore and punched me. Vivian Song, can you sober up? Don't you recognize them? These two are the guys from Weibo today. Now they've come all the way here to block you. I froze for a few seconds, then shrieked, damn it, Hannah Su, what do we do now? But before we could come up with a countermeasure, the crowd around us quickly exposed us. Their girlfriends are here, over here. The two men took step after step towards us. I looked at Hannah Su in despair. Hannah Su, I don't want to die yet. But I didn't expect her to betray me at this moment. She let go of my hand, her voice cautious but extremely decisive. Vivian Song, you've been exposed. There's no need to sacrifice another person. But don't worry, I'll always support you emotionally. My eyes widened at her, watching Hannah Sue's retreating back as the two men stood right in front of me. I looked up, forcing a flattering smile. Hello, Mr. Top Idol, Mr. Crown Prince. Ethan Ha subtly raised an eyebrow at me. Yan Su, on the other hand, smiled very gently. Can we talk in private for a moment? Although Yan Su's tone was very polite, in the very next second I was taken straight into a luxury car, then to a 5-star hotel and a high-end restaurant. Outside, the bustling streets glittered with the capital's most vibrant lights. Yan Su and Ethan Ha calmly cut steak in front of me, their rhythm slow, neither rushed nor angry. I could only silently watch them. Although the smell of grilled meat was delicious, the red steak on the plate made it impossible for me to swallow. Ethan Ha lowered his head, speaking coldly. You're Vivian Song, right? Did you enjoy playing games with us? I shook my head frantically. Ethan Ha gave a faint smile. Not enjoying it, we just compared your messages. During the day, you played games with him, and at night, you sang lullabies to me. You're quite busy, aren't you? My face turned pale. It's over. These two have compared all the messages. Will I even survive to return to the dorm tonight? Damn it, Hannah Sue. We did this together, and she's pushing all the blame onto me. I swear I won't let her off the hook. While I was imagining scenes of torture, the atmosphere suddenly changed. Yan Su's eyes suddenly turned red, his voice hoarse. Vivian, you were with Ethan just for money, right? The person you truly love is only me, right? He cried like a pear blossom in the rain, looking incredibly pitiful. I silently nodded. That's right, I talked to Ethan Ha just for money. But immediately after, I shook my head again. No, that's not right. I talked to Yan Su only for money too. Yan Su stared at me intently, his voice a little weak. Vivian, you're angry with me, aren't you? Angry that I didn't publicly acknowledge you, that's why you broke up with me, right? I've already acknowledged you on Weibo. Please don't be angry with me, okay? Hearing this, I was desperate. If I had known, I would have thought of a different way to break up, instead of using this complicated reason. No, what kind of flirting skills did Hannah Sue learn to make people so obsessed? I looked at the two men in front of me, then recalled how Hannah Sue had carelessly abandoned me earlier. I decided to go all in. Hannah Sue, you're dead meat? I feigned a heartbroken expression, speaking in a melancholic voice. Thank you both for liking me, but there's something I need to tell you truthfully. My photos were taken by my friend for online dating, so everything you've seen was sent by her, including all our past conversations. It was all my friend messaging you. Yan Su was shocked. You mean all this time the person playing games and texting me was her? I nodded firmly. That's right, so the person you love isn't me but her. Her name is Hannah Sue and she's also a student at our university. Hearing this, Yan Su immediately dashed out. If I wasn't mistaken, he was going to find Hannah Sue. I looked at Ethan Ha, who remained still. I blinked. Second young master, aren't you going? He looked at me, the corners of his mouth slightly upturned. I'm not going. After all, what I like is your face, not your soul. Wait a minute, that sentence isn't quite right. Should I say thank you? We sat facing each other in terrifying silence. As I was thinking of a way to escape, Ethan Ha finally spoke first. No one has ever dared to play games with me like this before. You're the second person. I swallowed. Then, who was the first? Hearing my question, he subtly curved his lips, slowly saying, she died. I drew a sharp breath. No way, am I going to die too? But immediately after, a hint of sadness flashed across his face. No, not necessarily dead. Perhaps missing. Immediately, news reports about missing girls being trafficked flashed through my mind. No way, I wanted to be in the news, but not like this. I began racking my brain for a way out, forcing out 2 drops of tears, looking at him pitifully. Big brother, please, spare me. I didn't even text you, and I've returned all the money. I really don't want to die. Ethan Ha stared at me. Do I look like a gang member? I shook my head frantically. Not at all, not even a little bit. Then why are you making a face like I'm about to kill you? Don't worry, I don't want your life. I just want to discuss a deal. Hearing this, I flinched, hugging myself tightly. Young master, don't be like that. I only sell my skills, not my body. Ethan Ha was silent for a few seconds. Can you uninstall that CEO novel app on your phone? Half an hour later, I listened to everything Ethan Ha said but still didn't quite understand. You mean, the eldest daughter of the Yang family went missing many years ago, and now you want me to pretend to be her? Ethan Ha nodded. I was still puzzled. But there are so many girls out there. Why did you choose me? Ethan Ha pulled out his phone and opened a picture of me. Because you and Olivia Yang both have a mole at the corner of your eye. Moreover, your ages are also similar. I still felt uneasy. But you also said it. The Yang family is so powerful. What if they find the real young lady later? Won't I be exposed then? They definitely won't let me off the hook. Hearing that, a hint of sadness flashed across Ethan Ha's face. Don't worry. They've been searching for years and still haven't found anything. They only caught the kidnappers of Olivia Yang back then. According to them, she was sold to the black market. It's likely she won't make it back. I couldn't help but sigh. So, being an eldest daughter doesn't guarantee a smooth life. Just like me, who grew up under the gang leader's beatings, but there was a big difference between her and me. According to the gang leader, I was abandoned at the orphanage gate when I was 8. He picked me up and raised me. My parents abandoned me, but Olivia Yang's didn't. I pondered for a moment, then asked, but my DNA is different from hers. Won't they do a paternity test? Ethan Ha slightly raised his eyes, his expression arrogant and calmly terrifying. Just do as I say. No one will find out you're fake. I trembled. So, what exactly do you want me to pretend to be her for? Ethan Ha looked out the window. I couldn't clearly see the emotions in his eyes. Of course, it's to get justice for Olivia Yang. 10 years have passed. I don't believe an 8-year-old child just wandered off on her own and was kidnapped by human traffickers. Rest assured, whether I eventually find the truth or not, I will give you 1,000,000 yuan. Furthermore, all your and your friends' tuition and living expenses during this time will be covered by me. After all, you two are very short on money, aren't you? I froze. Did we look that poor? I wanted to protest this class discrimination, but I realized I couldn't refuse 1,000,000 yuan. When I returned to the dorm, my mind was still in a daze. I planned to tell Hannah-Sue everything that had happened tonight, but when I opened the door, I found no one in the room. I was about to pull out my phone to call her, but then I realized my phone was out of battery. A strange sense of worry suddenly welled up in my heart. Even though Hannah-Sue had betrayed me tonight, a crime punishable by death, I didn't hope she would actually die so quickly. I hastily plugged in my phone to charge. There was no other way. It was normal for a promotional phone with a prepaid card to have a battery that drained quickly. The moment I turned on my phone, I saw dozens of missed calls from Hannah-Sue, along with 99 unread messages. 8:13 p.m. Don't say I'm disloyal, but if both of us get caught, who's going to figure out how to rescue us? Don't worry, if you're not back within an hour, I'll definitely come to save you. 8:20 p.m. Vivian Song, why aren't you replying to my messages? Are you angry? Don't be, at least reply once. 8:30 p.m. Vivian Song, don't scare me, just reply to me first. You can punish me however you want, I really know I was wrong. Where are you? I'll come find you. 8:40 p.m. Don't scare me anymore, boo-hoo-hoo, I really know I was wrong. 9:10 p.m. Damn it, Vivian Song, Yansu came looking for me. I have to ask him what he did to you. 9:15 p.m. He just confessed to me. This guy is really a playboy, trying to have his cake and eat it too, huh? 9:30 p.m. Vivian Song, we have a home now. Yansu just gave me an apartment right next to the school. He said you're fine, and to come find me when you get back. I've already moved all our luggage here. I read through all the messages, which took almost an entire morning. So Hannah-Sue had moved straight into the apartment Yansu gave her. Wait a minute, isn't this progress too fast? Is this even reasonable? Before I could think it through, my phone rang again. I answered. On the other end, Hannah-Sue's trembling voice came through. Vivian Song, you finally answered. No matter how angry you are with me, don't ignore my calls, boo-hoo-hoo. Where are you now? Half an hour later, I sat in a lavishly decorated apartment, staring at Hannah-Sue in disbelief. You mean this apartment is Yansu's confession gift? Hannah-Sue nodded. Initially, I didn't plan on accepting it, but I looked it up online and this apartment is worth nearly 1,000,000 yuan. I thought, if I accept this house, I can live here with you. Vivian Song, look, we have a home now, we have a family. If it were normal, I would definitely hug Hannah-Sue to celebrate, but at this moment I only felt angry. I was dragged away, had to face those two guys, and even had to accept Ethan Ha's deal in exchange for 1,000,000 yuan. And Hannah-Sue? She didn't do anything, just sat here and immediately received an apartment. I glared at her, murderous aura rising. Hannah-Sue, you traitor, I won't let you off the hook. With that, I pounced on her, and we wrestled like two small animals. We struggled for a long time until we were both exhausted, finally collapsing onto the bed. I stared blankly at the ceiling, my eyes empty. Hannah-Sue, am I dreaming? Why does it feel like we have everything overnight? We have a home now. Hannah Sue replied breathlessly. We're not dreaming. We really have a home. Sometimes, life can change from one extreme to another in an instant. I chuckled. Hannah Sue, I think your parents must have been philosophers to give birth to such a philosophical child like you. Hannah Sue laughed along. How could the people who abandoned me at birth be philosophers? I'm even jealous of you. At least your parents raised you until you were 8. I felt a little lost, but I don't remember anything about them. My memories before I was 8 seem to have been completely erased. That night, Hannah Sue and I talked for a very, very long time. We talked about our imaginations of our birth parents, about the pain we'd endured throughout the years. Although we had grown up together, close with no secrets, we had never truly talked about this topic. Only tonight did we truly admit that we were abandoned children, opened up our wounds, and let each other see them. By midnight, Hannah Sue was fast asleep beside me. I looked out the window at the twinkling starry sky and unconsciously recalled the first time I met her. That day, when I had just been adopted by the gang leader and brought home, I saw her. The little girl looked at me with hostility, her eyes shining brightly. The gang leader's subordinates stood around, laughing and teasing. The boss picked up another girl. He's not even married yet, and his kids keep piling up. The gang leader glared at them. What do you know? You can tell just by looking that these 2 girls are smart. They'll definitely help me in the future. So, the first thing Hannah Sue said to me when we met was, Are you very smart? Let's see who's smarter. Hannah Sue was naturally quick-witted, so I was certainly no match for her. During the time I was first adopted, she targeted me quite a few times. But thinking back, although the gang leader was not a good person, he was Hannah Sue's only support at that time. She was afraid of my appearance, afraid I would steal her place in the gang leader's heart. Our relationship truly eased when we were 10. That year, the gang leader felt we were old enough and wanted to start training us to scam people for money. He told Hannah Sue to feign stupidity to trick people out of money. But as a clever child, Hannah Sue knew full well that if she earned money once, the gang leader would never let her go. So, she deliberately revealed an incredibly clumsy flaw, resulting in her not scamming a single yuan all day. The gang leader was furious, locked her in her room, and wouldn't let her eat dinner. That night, I intentionally saved 2 steamed buns and secretly brought them to her. At that time, Hannah Sue didn't look like a 10-year-old child at all. She had no innocence or carefree spirit, only wary eyes. What are you doing here? Do you want to see how pathetic I am? I shook my head, carefully pulling out the 2 steamed buns from behind my back. Hannah Sue froze when she saw them. That night, she devoured them all, then looked up at me. If you can escape this place in the future from now on, you must listen to me. I will never harm you, okay? At that time, I didn't understand anything, but I knew Hannah Sue wasn't lying. When we were 10, in a dilapidated room just for 2 steamed buns, we became friends who would stick together through thick and thin. From then on, I followed Hannah Sue's advice, pretending to be dumb and foolish, acting like a silly child with no value. She once said that only those who are worthless can be discarded without regret. So, we needed to make the gang leader believe we were completely useless. In fact, the day the gang leader kicked us out of the house, I was very scared. After all, no matter how bad he was, he had given us a home, food, and clothes. I worried that after leaving him, Hannah Sue and I would become street vagrants. But that day, Hannah Sue took my hand, not looking back, and pulled me forward. She said, Vivian Song, don't be afraid. We will definitely have a bright future, no matter the circumstances. Hannah Sue's words always had a kind of magic that made me trust her unconditionally. I looked at Hannah Sue sleeping soundly beside me, the corners of my mouth unconsciously curving upwards. Hannah Sue, we will definitely be happy, right? But I didn't expect that the very next morning, when Hannah Sue heard I was going to pretend to be the Yang family's young lady, she was so scared she jumped out of bed. Vivian Song, are you crazy? For just 1,000,000 yuan, you're selling yourself. She startled me. I quickly pulled her back. What are you talking about? I'm only going to the Yang family for a while. How can you call that selling myself? Ethan Ha said that as soon as he finds the truth, I'll be free. Plus, there's 1,000,000 yuan waiting. Hannah Sue's eyes widened in disbelief. Wait until he finds the truth? What if he never finds it? Are you going to live your whole life under a fake identity? Living a fake life is one thing, but what if you get exposed? Do you think Ethan Ha can protect you? With that, she pulled my arm hard, dragging me. We're going now, straight to him, and tell him we're not doing it anymore. Vivian Song, I really shouldn't have left you alone to do something so stupid. Let's go now. Just then, I opened my phone and my entire body froze. Hannah Sue, look at Weibo, it seems it's too late. Hannah Sue felt a bad premonition and quickly opened Weibo to check. The moment she saw the hot topics, she closed her eyes in despair. Because the top trending topic today was, Ouyang family's eldest daughter, missing 4 years, finally found hash. Immediately after, the second trending topic was, Ouyang family's young lady turns out to be the one fought over by the Crown Prince and top idol hash. On Weibo, a flood of comments expressed envy. No way, isn't this an idol drama plot? Fought over by a top idol and a crown prince, and in the end, it turns out she's actually a real wealthy heiress. When will it be my turn? Initially, I thought being publicly acknowledged by a top idol was lucky enough, but it turns out that was just the beginning of a Cinderella story. Oh my God, am I not your biological granddaughter? I read each comment, feeling a continuous shock. Why did everyone believe it so blindly? Didn't anyone consider the possibility that I was fake? Suddenly, my phone rang with a piercing sound. I answered in a panic. Ethan Ha's chillingly calm voice came through. Get ready. Your new parents are on their way to pick you up. Remember, don't overact. Act as if you just found out about this yourself. I froze, turning to look at Hannah Sue with panicked eyes. She also looked at me, her face full of terror. No way, the first test came so quickly. Within 5 minutes, Hannah Sue and I had dug up all the information about the Ouyang family. Hannah Sue rubbed her chin, her expression complex. In other words, Olivia Ouyang's birth mother died when she was 5. A year later, her father married a new wife. That same year, this stepmother gave birth to a son, and when Olivia Ouyang was 8, she suddenly went missing. I looked at Hannah Sue's thoughtful expression and asked, "What are you thinking?" Hannah Sue sat down beside me, her tone serious. Think about it, if Olivia Ouyang disappeared, who would be the direct beneficiary? I blinked. Her stepmother. That way she wouldn't have to raise someone else's child. Bop. As soon as I finished speaking, Hannah Sue punched me straight on the arm. Vivian Song, what on earth is between your ears? Hannah Sue said exasperatedly. If Olivia Ouyang disappeared, the most direct beneficiary would definitely be her younger brother, inheriting the entire fortune alone. Hearing that, I couldn't help but wonder. But when Olivia Ouyang went missing, her younger brother was only 2 years old. How could he have done it? Bop. I took another punch from Hannah Sue. Vivian Song, are you doing this on purpose or are you really stupid? Her younger brother was young, but what about his mother? I chuckled, finding Hannah Sue's furious expression quite amusing. She glared at me sharply, seriously warning, in short, when you go to the Ouyang family, you must be careful of that stepmother. I feel like she's not to be trifled with. I nodded decisively. Don't worry, I'll definitely be vigilant. But I didn't expect that half an hour later, when the stepmother elegantly stepped forward to pick me up, the moment I saw her beautiful face, I immediately forgot all of Hannah Sue's warnings. Oh my God, how could she be so beautiful after having a child? The beautiful stepmother hugged me tightly, her voice full of pity. My dear, you must have suffered so much living outside for so many years, right? It's okay, it's okay. You're finally home. Wait a minute, why is she so gentle? This is nothing like the image of a cruel stepmother I had imagined. No, I must remain vigilant. I absolutely cannot let her exploit any weakness. But in the very next second, as I was embraced in a fragrant and soft hug, I began to waver. So, before I could even say a complete sentence, I was taken home by the beautiful stepmother. Along the way, she kept telling me how my father's hair had turned gray from searching for me all these years. Fortunately, heaven did not fail us and we finally found you. I hesitated before asking, "Where's Dad?" He obviously put in so much effort to find his daughter, but he didn't personally come to pick me up. The beautiful stepmother happily replied, "Your father is waiting for you at home. Over the years, we've hoped and despaired too many times. This time, your father didn't dare to put too much faith, so he let me come first to pick you up for the DNA test. When we get home, the results will be ready." Ah, so he still didn't believe I was his biological daughter. I calmly followed the stepmother to the hospital for the DNA test. Throughout the process, I wasn't worried at all because I remembered Ethan Ha had said he would take care of everything. Sure enough, on the way back, when the stepmother saw the results, she excitedly exclaimed, finally found you." She gently stroked my shoulder, her voice trembling with emotion. My dear, you've suffered so much all these years. But looking at her, I suddenly felt a little scared. Before, I thought Olivia Ouyang wasn't that important to this family, but I didn't expect them to have been looking for her for so many years. If they found out I was fake later, how heartbroken would they be? Thinking of that, a surge of guilt welled up in my heart. I lowered my head even further. But at this moment, The driver stopped the car in front of the Yang family mansion. The beautiful stepmother took my hand and slowly led me inside. At the door, I saw a middle-aged man, a little tired, but his demeanor was still extremely noble. I stood frozen. The stepmother gently touched me. "Darling, quickly call Dad." I pursed my lips, slowly raised my head, and softly called out, "Dad." The middle-aged man's eyes immediately reddened, his mouth repeating, "It's good you're back, it's good you're back." The situation at the Yang family was much better than I had imagined. It seemed everyone here truly wished for my return. When I told Hannah Sue about this, she was extremely shocked. "No way, how can a rich family be so harmonious?" I immediately messaged back, "As of now, it's indeed very harmonious." But as soon as I sent the message, I heard the stepmother gently knock on the door. "Vivian, are you asleep? Stepmother wants to talk to you, okay?" My heart pounded. Sure enough, it was coming. The stepmother's warning scene. What happened today was just a facade. What needed to come would still come. I took a deep breath and slowly opened the door. The stepmother stood outside, her face full of mystery. I let out a soft sigh. Sure enough, powerful families were never easy to deal with. But I didn't expect that when the stepmother led me into her room, the first thing she said made me jump, almost falling. She lowered her voice, full of curiosity. "Vivian, who did you choose in the end? The top idol or the Crown Prince of Beijing? Can you tell stepmother?" Stepmother promises not to tell anyone. "And how did you get to know them?" "Vivian, what exactly did you do to win over those two handsome guys?" My eyes widened. Wait, this isn't right. Did stepmother call me to her room just to gossip about my love life? I didn't dare to let stepmother misunderstand any further, immediately waving my hands. "Stepmother, it's all a misunderstanding. Actually, things aren't what you think. I don't have any relationship with them." Stepmother gave me a reproachful look. "Oh, Vivian, stepmother isn't an outsider. Tell stepmother. Stepmother is really curious." Just as I was about to continue explaining, my phone suddenly rang. The screen displayed the caller, Crown Prince. Stepmother saw the caller ID on the screen, her eyes becoming meaningful. "And you say you have no relationship? If there's no relationship, why is the Crown Prince calling you in the middle of the night? It seems stepmother guessed right, you chose the Crown Prince." I panicked slightly, quickly waving my hands. "Stepmother, it's not what you think." Stepmother chuckled, waving her hand. "Come on, stop explaining, go answer the phone." The phone kept ringing. There was no other way. I quickly walked out of the room, answered the call, and walked carefully, asking, "It's so late, is something wrong?" Ethan Ha's voice sounded annoyed. "Why did you take so long to answer? Were you stealing again? Or were you busy online dating, singing lullabies for someone else?" Even just over the phone, I could imagine his furrowed brow and displeased expression. I calmly asked again, "What is it?" Ethan Ha was silent for a few seconds. I subtly frowned. So he didn't have anything important to say, just called to check up on me. Wasn't this the behavior of capitalist bosses exploiting their employees? They pay a little money and want to control all my time. I was losing patience. If there's nothing, I'm hanging up. Just as I was about to press the disconnect button, Ethan Ha's voice suddenly came through. "Yansu took Hannah Sue to a bar. Do you want to come over? And while you're at it, report on the situation at the Yang family." Hearing that, I immediately got angry. I was nervous, pretending to be a wealthy heiress, while Hannah Sue was secretly having fun at a bar. No hesitation. I immediately replied, "I'm coming. Send me the address right now." The moment I decided to go, I was very spirited and determined. But when I actually got into the car to the bar, I started to feel nervous. I had never actually stepped into a bar. The only time I went was when the gang leader sold us to a bar. At that time, the bar owner told us to sing to entertain guests. Stared at by his meaningful gaze, we feigned ignorance and stupidity, trying to appear bewildered. Outwardly, we showed no emotion, but inwardly, we were scared to death. From then on, Hannah Sue and I swore we would never set foot in a bar again. Yet now, she had forgotten that vow and even picked up the habit of going to bars for entertainment. Thinking of this, I became even angrier, gritting my teeth. But when I got out of the car and saw the bar in front of me, I froze. In front of me was not a dark, noisy bar, but a place designed like an art gallery. Is this what a rich people's bar looks like? While I was still stunned, Hannah Sue slapped my shoulder. She smiled, her eyes crinkling. "Vivian Song, how does it feel to be a rich young lady today?" I gave her an annoyed glance. "Certainly not as comfortable as young lady Hannah. Hannah Sue, you dared to hide from me to go on a date." Hannah Sue looked at me, puzzled. "Vivian Song, what are you talking about? Didn't you tell Yansu to invite me here? You said you needed to find me." It turned out Hannah Sue and I were both being used as bait. Inside the bar, Hannah Sue sat close to me, while Yan Su tried to sit closer to her but was flat out rejected. He looked aggrieved. Honey, why have you been so cold to me lately? You weren't like this before. Hannah Sue glanced at him, her tone awkward. Yan Su, we haven't even defined our relationship yet. Don't call me that. Do you think giving me an apartment means you can do whatever you want? Do you think I'm that kind of person? Hearing that, Yan Su immediately looked apologetic. I'm sorry, Hannah. It's all my fault. I was too presumptuous. I'll remember this lesson and won't make the same mistake next time. I couldn't help but roll my eyes. Hannah Sue's tactics weren't very sophisticated, but she happened to meet a love-struck man. Ethan Ha sat opposite us, observing us coldly. Have you two settled your private matters? Now I want to ask the most important question. Vivian Song, have you found anything suspicious at the O Yang family? I thought for a moment. There didn't seem to be anything unusual, so I honestly shook my head. No, they all treat me very well. Ethan Ha frowned. No problems is the biggest problem. I didn't understand why Hannah Sue rushed to answer first. I know, Vivian Song, think about it. How long has Olivia O Yang been missing? Now she suddenly returns. In everyone's eyes, she's no different from an outsider. Especially your stepmother. Olivia O Yang's return will directly compete with her for inheritance. How could she genuinely be so kind? She must be pretending. Hearing that, Ethan Ha pondered. She has a point, so what did your stepmother say today? Analyze it. Hearing that, I suddenly remembered my conversation with the stepmother and unconsciously felt a little awkward. No, she didn't say anything. Hannah Sue leaned in, staring at me. Vivian Song, you're lying. She definitely said something, otherwise you wouldn't be so nervous. You can fool others, but you can't fool me. Whether you're lying or not, I can tell at a glance. Before I could react, Hannah Sue began to deduce, grabbing my arm, her face terrified. Vivian Song, you're so awkward, did she threaten you? I was speechless, almost choking on her vivid imagination. No, really not. But Hannah Sue became even more anxious. Then what did she say? Hurry up and tell me. I swallowed, carefully speaking. Are you sure you want me to tell you? They all nodded expectantly. All right, then I'll tell you. Today, my stepmother called me into her room and then, they waited tensely. And then she asked me if I was with Yan Su or Ethan Ha. In that instant, I seemed to hear the sound of the three of them turning to stone. Ethan Ha was the first to regain his composure. So, all day today, she did nothing else but gossip about this? I nodded firmly. Hannah Sue scratched her head, bewildered. Your stepmother is really nosy. Yan Su leaned close to Hannah Sue, his face wary. So, what did you answer? You didn't say it was me, did you? I already belong to Hannah. Hearing that, my eyes widened in disbelief. With a mind full of love like this, how could he still be a top idol? If the entertainment industry is out of people, can I debut? I turned to Hannah Sue, looking at her suspiciously. Are you two really dating? Hannah Sue immediately retorted. Of course not, I haven't agreed yet. I glanced at Yan Su, raising an eyebrow provocatively. Hear that? She hasn't agreed yet. Yan Su immediately drooped his face, his eyes full of sorrow. He looked at Hannah Sue expectantly. Hannah, then how much longer do I have to wait for a chance? Hannah Sue tilted her head, thinking, looking very indecisive. A long, long time, just wait. A simple sentence made Yan Su perk up again. Okay, Hannah, I'll definitely work hard. I looked at this scene, unable to believe my eyes. Whose idol is this? Whose brother is this? Next to us, Ethan Ha looked at us like we were idiots, finally sighing helplessly. Then he calmly instructed me, from now on, whenever your stepmother says anything, you must report it to me. I thought for a moment, then asked, even things like today? Ethan Ha paused for a moment, then replied, yes. So what did you eventually tell her? Who did you choose? I was about to answer when a female voice suddenly interrupted our conversation. Brother Ethan, why are you two here? We all turned to look. The person who spoke was Mia Su. She was dressed provocatively, her makeup so heavy she was almost unrecognizable. She quickly walked towards us, but when she saw Hannah Sue and me, her expression immediately changed. Mia Su glared angrily at Yan Su. Brother, didn't you and brother Ethan tell me you had business? Then why are you two here with these kinds of people? Hearing this, Hannah Sue immediately exploded. She stood up, her aura overwhelming as she approached Mia Su. What do you mean? Explain clearly, what kind of people are we? What kind of person are you? Mia Su was clearly still haunted by the previous scare from Hannah Sue, so this time she hid behind Yan Su, her bravado visibly weaker. You! Don't think that just because your friend is now a phoenix perched on a high branch, becoming the O Yang family's heiress, you can be so arrogant. Hearing that, Yan Su couldn't help but speak up. Mia, you can't talk like that. But Mia Su was accustomed to being arrogant. Of course, she wouldn't listen to him. Why are you always defending them? Do you believe I'll tell Mom? As soon as she finished speaking, Ethan Ha looked at her coldly. Mia Su, Miss O Yang and Miss Su are my friends. If you don't know your place, you should at least respect them a little. You know, I'm not as easygoing as your brother." This time, Mia Su was truly startled. She glared at us sharply, then turned around and left, leaving only a threatening remark. "Just wait, you'll see what I can do." I was a little worried because a spoiled young lady like Mia Su would definitely try to cause trouble later, but Hannah Su patted my shoulder lightly, smiling faintly. "Don't worry, I've never been afraid of anyone." I nodded, but my heart still felt a bit uneasy. Late at night, Ethan Ha personally drove me home. Throughout the journey, he was silent, his face cold, seemingly not wanting to talk, so I also wisely kept quiet. But strangely, he occasionally glanced at me through the rearview mirror, until the car stopped. As I opened the door and stepped out, Ethan Ha suddenly let out a soft cough. "Vivian Song, you still haven't answered me." I blinked, a little bewildered. "Answer what?" He lowered his head, his tones seemingly unnatural. "The thing you told your stepmother today," I suddenly realized. Ah, that. I was about to tell the truth, but unconsciously glanced at Ethan Ha, noticing a hint of expectation in his eyes. I hesitated for a second, then probed. "I said it was you." My voice was very soft. Ethan Ha heard it, his lips subtly curved, revealing an inscrutable smile. "I guessed that much. Don't worry, I'll try my best to play the role of your boyfriend." With that, he turned the car around and drove away, leaving me standing there in a daze. I watched his car disappear into the night, a strange feeling suddenly welling up in my heart. I pulled out my phone and immediately called Hannah Su. "Hannah Su, something's wrong." On the other end of the line, she suddenly gasped. "What is it? Did the O Yang family do something to you?" I took a deep breath, my voice full of confusion. "No, I think I'm in love." "Who are you in love with?" "Ethan Ha." Even though it wasn't true love, my heart pounded. "Why is that?" Hannah Su fell silent. "You're the type who falls for the coach if you're a soldier and the boss if you're at work, right?" I'm hanging up. The phone beeped. Hannah Su really hung up. I couldn't help but curse. "Hannah Su, you ungrateful wretch." But unexpectedly, at this moment, the door was pushed open. The person who walked in heard my entire curse. I immediately sat up straight and respectfully called out, "Dad." 10 minutes later, I sat on the sofa in the study, facing Olivia O Yang's father. My entire body was stiff, as if sitting on pins and needles. I had a bad feeling. If I had known, I wouldn't have cursed. I was definitely about to be lectured. But unexpectedly, he opened his mouth and asked an unexpected question. "Who is Hannah Su? Is she someone you really hate?" I immediately shook my head frantically. "No, not at all. Ah, she's my best friend. We often tease each other like that." He nodded slightly, still seeming not to fully understand. "So that's it. Perhaps I'm old and don't understand how you young people communicate." I tried to deny it immediately. "No, it's not like that. It's just that everyone has different ways of living." But unexpectedly, the two words, "uncle," that I accidentally blurted out struck him hard. He looked at me with complex emotions. "I'm sorry, Vivian. After all these years, to finally find you, I've been useless, letting you suffer all these years. Fortunately, you've grown up very well and you have good friends beside you. I'm very proud of you." As he spoke, his eyes reddened. I suddenly felt a lump in my throat. A surge of guilt made me restless. If he ever found out I wasn't the real Olivia O Yang, would he be so heartbroken that he would collapse? I forced a smile, trying to comfort him. "It's okay, Dad. Don't be sad anymore. I've lived very well all these years." That night, I recounted many stories from my childhood. I talked about being adopted by the gang leader, about the times Hannah Su and I secretly went out to find food, about the times we overheard his news. I told the stories with great enthusiasm, but the more Olivia O Yang's father heard, the more his face showed pain. "Vivian, you've really suffered a lot." The story ended with a gift I didn't expect, an unlimited black card. He handed me the card, gently saying, "Vivian, I have nothing but money, just spend it freely." I pretended to hesitate. "Dad, why are you doing this?" But in reality, I was smiling so wide I almost split my mouth. Before I returned to my room, my father even gave me a reminder. "Oh, Vivian, tomorrow I'll have Miss Lam Myveen come to meet you and introduce you to connections in high society." At that time, I was only thinking about the black card, so I just nodded vaguely and then completely forgot about it. That's why the next morning, when I saw Mia Lam, I completely froze. Mia Lam wore an elegant dress, both graceful and sensual, exuding the aura of a refined young lady. She smiled gently, her demeanor polite and soft. "Hello, Vivian, I'm Mia Lam. You can call me Mia. I was a little awkward." "You." "Hello, Mia." Olivia O Yang's father pulled me down to sit beside him. "Vivian just returned. She's still a bit shy. Mia, please introduce her to things more. Mia Lam obediently nodded. Yes, uncle. With that, she stood up and walked towards me. Can you take me to your room for a moment? I quickly nodded. Of course. At this point, I still didn't understand why Mia Lam was here until she sat directly in front of me and began to introduce herself. Hello, I'm Mia Lam. My father is the chairman of the Lam Group. In the capital's business circles, my family's company ranks among the top 20. Currently, the most powerful family in high society is the Ha family, and Ethan Ha is their sole heir. The Su family has a close relationship with the Ha family. Although not among the top 10 economically, because of this relationship, they are also respected by many other families. Your O Yang family is one of the strongest families, second only to the Ha family. Their assets span many industries. In addition, there are the Fu family and the Li family, whose financial strength is on par with the O Yang family. Mia Lam spoke fluently, like an encyclopedia of high society. After she finished, she calmly looked at me. I listened, bewildered, and asked, "Why are you telling me all this?" She replied calmly, her tone impeccable. Mr. O Yang asked me to give you a brief overview of the prominent families in high society so you can quickly integrate into the circle. Now that you have a general understanding of the family's influence, tonight there's a party hosted by the Ha family. All the notable young masters and ladies in the capital will be there. Mr. O Yang wants me to take you. Get ready, I'll pick you up at 4 p.m. With that, she turned and left without hesitation. I scratched my head. Although this was the first time I met Mia Lam, I felt she wasn't friendly at all. Even though her tone and expression were very polite, without any flaws, I still felt something was off. Before I could think deeper, my phone suddenly received a message. Hannah Sue had an accident at school. When I rushed to school, Hannah Sue had already been taken to the infirmary. Seeing her scraped hands and feet, I was visibly worried. What on earth happened? Hannah Sue said in a weak voice. This morning, as soon as I left the door, I smelled a strange scent. Just a few minutes later, I felt dizzy and my vision blurred. I was about to walk into class when I suddenly bumped into someone and fell to the ground. My intuition tells me this wasn't an accident. I immediately understood her meaning. Someone deliberately played a dirty trick, but Hannah Sue and I had just arrived in the capital and had barely interacted with anyone. Why would someone suddenly want to harm her? At this moment, I remembered Mia Sue's threat yesterday before she left. Could it be her? I helped Hannah Sue lie down to rest, then went to find Mia Sue alone. At this time, she was in the dorm. Ever since Hannah Sue and I moved out, she had enjoyed the entire room to herself. Seeing me standing at the door, Mia Sue crossed her arms and smirked contemptuously. Oh, Olivia O Yang came here to cause trouble with me? I looked at her calmly. Didn't you cause trouble first? Mia Sue frowned, pretending to be innocent. What are you talking about? I don't understand anything. Mia Sue was annoyed, her voice full of disdain. Hey, Olivia O Yang, you speak clearly. Who caused trouble with you? I don't even care about you people. Hearing her say that, I began to doubt my own speculation. Could it really not be Mia Sue's doing? Seeing me stand there blankly, not saying anything, Mia Sue annoyingly chased me out. Olivia O Yang, don't stand here going crazy. I still have to study. If I don't get into graduate school, are you going to support me? I decided to go back and investigate everything, but unexpectedly, as I passed by a small alley, I was suddenly blocked by a group of people. They looked like thugs from the area. The leader's tone was fierce. You're Olivia O Yang? I nodded instinctively. He smirked. Right person. Someone paid us to teach you a lesson. I immediately turned to run, but found that the alley was a dead end. They had deliberately blocked my way here. They took step after step towards me. I had nowhere to retreat. As the sticks were about to strike me, I panicked and squeezed my eyes shut. But the pain I expected didn't come. I opened my eyes and found a familiar figure in front of me. I couldn't help but exclaim, "Brother Liam?" The man turned to look at me, giving a faint smile, but he didn't have time to reply. He immediately lunged to fight the thugs. Liam Kwong was the most trusted person of the gang leader who had raised me. I heard he was also an orphan raised by the boss. He risked his life for the boss at just 15 years old. From childhood, he had helped Hannah Sue and me many times. When Hannah Sue and I were kicked out of the house, he was on a mission for the gang leader, so he didn't have a chance to see us one last time. I didn't expect to meet him here today. Liam Kwong acted decisively. No one could stand against him. In just a few short minutes, all the thugs were knocked down. He calmly turned around and pulled me out of the alley. I followed behind, asking as I walked, "Brother Liam, why are you here?" He sighed. It took me a while to complete my previous mission. When I came back, I found that you two were no longer there. I worried you might be in danger, so I followed the clues to the capital. I originally intended to find you at school, but I unexpectedly ran into you right here. Hearing that, I was surprised. Brother Liam, so you hid it from the gang leader to come find us? He shook his head. No, the gang leader also knew I was looking for you too. He even specifically instructed me to protect you too well. My eyes widened in surprise. What? The gang leader himself told you to come here? Liam Kwong nodded firmly. That's right. After all, he raised you two for so long. He regretted kicking you out. Later, when he saw you two on the hot trends, he had a hunch that someone might try to harm you too, so he told me to come to the capital to find you and prevent any risks. I was a little thoughtful. Even the gang leader saw this, while Hannah Sue and I had no idea. But thinking back, ever since we arrived in the capital, we had unintentionally offended many people, and this thought was strongly confirmed during the party that evening. I followed Mia Lam to the party. Along the way, she chatted happily with everyone, greeting one person after another, while I was completely ignored like a stranger. I couldn't help but secretly ask Mia Lam if I was being isolated. She just smiled, saying I was overthinking it. Everyone just didn't know my identity well yet. But the truth was not like that. After the party had been going on for a while, everyone had their own groups, chatting happily, while I stood alone by the drink bar. At this moment, I missed Hannah Sue terribly. If she were here, she would definitely stand by my side without hesitation. But unfortunately, she was still in the infirmary. I pretended to be deep in thought, trying to strike a pensive pose to look less out of place. But before long, a familiar female voice interrupted my thoughts. It was Mia Sue. She approached, deliberately lowering her voice so only I could hear. Well, Olivia Yang, without my brother and brother Ethan here, no one cares about you anymore, huh? Feeling ashamed? HMPH, don't think that just because you have some blood relation to the Yang family, you're a real young lady. I'm telling you, no one here respects you at all. The moment I heard Mia Sue's voice, I actually felt a little touched. Indeed, amidst a party full of strangers, a familiar face finally appeared. I happily stepped forward and grabbed Mia Sue's hand. Mia, why are you only just getting here? Do you know how long I've been waiting for you? Mia Sue was stunned, her expression changing continuously. She even looked a little awkward. You're suddenly acting like this? At this moment, I heard whispers from the people around us. Didn't they say Olivia Yang and Mia Sue don't get along? Before, everyone said the rumors between Olivia Yang and Yan Su and young Master Ha were fake, but looking at the situation now, could she actually like girls? Should I go introduce myself to Olivia Yang? I think I forgot to greet her earlier. Me too. Let's go say hello. Mia Sue, of course, also heard the whispers and immediately glared at me angrily. Olivia Yang, you dare use me? I pointed to the opposite side. Hey, Ethan Ha is over there. Sure enough, Mia Sue immediately turned her head, but because she was too hasty, she didn't see Ethan Ha. While she was still confused and searching, I took the opportunity to run away. After Mia Sue left, the young masters and ladies who had previously been cold to me now vied to come and greet me. I suddenly became the center of the party, surrounded and flattered by everyone. Mia Lam clearly finally remembered my existence. She walked over, smiled elegantly, and introduced me to everyone. Excuse me, everyone, I almost forgot. This is the eldest daughter of the Yang family, Olivia Yang. Today is her first official appearance to everyone. Please take care of her. On the surface, it sounded fine, but I felt something was strange. Mia Lam's words made me feel like she was putting me down, placing me in a position where I needed others to take care of me. Just then, a cold voice rang out. Miss Lam, perhaps you forgot. The Yang family is also one of the top families in the capital. Since when do they need others to take care of them? I turned my head to look. Ethan Ha walked in from the main entrance, his aura intimidating. Everyone looked towards him, their eyes full of admiration for the absolute power of the Ha family in the capital's high society. For a brief second, Mia Lam's expression became a little awkward. Ethan Ha walked straight to my side. Just then, Mia Lam spoke up to explain, I was just worried that Vivian, having just returned, wasn't used to things, so I wanted everyone to help her a little. But before she could finish, Ethan Ha cut her off. My girlfriend, I'll take care of her myself. She doesn't need anyone else's care. The entire hall immediately fell silent. Then, a series of astonished gasps. I heard someone whispering, did she really choose young Master Ha? This girl is so lucky. Can I get a script like this for a few episodes? I'm not ambitious. You can just tweak it a little and give me a chance to be the female lead with young Master Su too. Mia Lam looked at Ethan Ha, her face tense, seemingly wanting to say something, but in the end she just bowed her head and softly replied, "Yes, young Master Ha." Ethan Ha pulled me to another corner of the party. Thinking of Mia Lam's expression earlier, I couldn't help but ask, "Ethan Ha, what's your relationship with Mia Lam? I keep feeling like there's something unusual between you two." Ethan Ha frowned, seeming to ponder. "No relationship, not close." Seeing that I was still full of doubts, he paused for a moment before continuing. "She confessed to me in high school." Now I understood. Mia Lam, despite her calm and polite appearance, always gave me a strange feeling, as if she intentionally wanted to embarrass me. So, she saw me as a rival in love. And immediately after, what happened next further clearly proved my speculation. The end of the party was a gift exchange. Everyone would place their gifts on a table, men's gifts on one table, women's on another. Then the organizers would announce the value of the gifts. The person who gave the most expensive gift would be the winner. This person had the right to choose anyone to dance with, and the other person was not allowed to refuse. But just as I was placing my gift on the table, Mia Lam suddenly shrieked, "Oh no, my gift is gone." The entire hall turned to look at her, including me. I remembered that when I came here with Mia Lam, I hadn't seen her carrying any gift. Furthermore, I didn't know about this gift exchange segment, so I hadn't prepared anything. No, I started to feel uneasy. Sure enough, just a few seconds later, Mia Lam turned to look at me, walking closer. "Vivian, if you accidentally took my gift, please return it for me, okay? I understand you've lived a very difficult life all these years. When you see something valuable, you might temporarily lose control. But that gift is worth millions. If I report it to the police, you might face criminal charges." The entire hall was in an uproar, all eyes fixed on me. What was I hearing? What nonsense was she talking about? I pointed at myself, my face full of astonishment. "You say I stole your gift." "I am the esteemed eldest daughter of the Yang family, and I would steal your gift." Mia Lam seemed to have anticipated my rebuttal, calmly continuing, "Vivian, but my gift was clearly in the car. You came in the car with me. I was the first one to get out. When I went back to get the gift, the car was already empty. I'm sorry, besides you, I really can't think of anyone else." I understood. She wanted to frame me. Can't think of anyone else. I laughed coldly, looking directly into her eyes. "Was your driver not a person? And besides, do I need to steal your gift so obviously? I'm not that stupid." The atmosphere in the hall became eerily silent. Only the tense confrontation between Mia Lam and me remained. She looked at me, then suddenly smiled. "Initially, I just wanted to talk nicely to you, but I didn't expect you to be so stubborn, refusing to admit your mistake just because you're the eldest daughter of the Yang family. Vivian, think carefully. Before you returned to the capital, where did you live? You were raised by a gang of criminals doing petty theft. Didn't you ever do that? I didn't expect that after returning to the capital, you still haven't gotten rid of that bad habit." She deliberately spoke very loudly. The entire banquet hall heard it. People whispered amongst themselves. "Oh my God, so the rumors are true? Olivia Yang was once raised by criminals and even used to steal. If this spreads outside, it'll be a huge embarrassment for high society. No wonder Mia Lam suspects her. If it were me, I wouldn't dare go near someone with a criminal record." I finally couldn't take it anymore. I raised my hand and slapped Mia Lam straight across the face. "I've tolerated you long enough. Yes, I was once raised by criminals. So what? I've lived cleanly for so many years, never broken the law, and never stolen. What gives you the right to fabricate such blatant lies?" With that, I didn't bother looking at her anymore, turning to leave the hall. But as soon as I turned my back, I felt a stinging in the corner of my eyes as tears, accumulated for so long, finally fell. I don't know how long I ran, only that when I stopped, a voice sounded behind me. "Finally decided to stop, huh? I almost couldn't keep up with you." I turned around and saw Ethan Ha panting. We sat down by the roadside. I still couldn't stop crying. Although I could strongly retort to Mia Lam at that moment, the truth was that having been raised by criminals had always been a haunting shadow in my heart. I had imagined 1,000 times how much better my life would be if I were the daughter of an ordinary family. I could study peacefully, grow up without living in fear, without worrying about being taken to a bar one day, without being forced to do things I didn't want to do. My parents might not be rich, but they would give me a simple, warm life. I looked at Ethan Ha, my voice choked. Ethan Ha, I wish I really were Olivia Yang, but I'm just an orphan someone despised and hated. Ethan Ha silently looked at me. His eyes, at this moment, no longer held their usual coldness but a deep resoluteness. Whether you're an orphan or a noble young lady, there will always be people who like you for who you are. I shook my head. No, I grew up in an environment full of ugliness. I understand how this world works. People only treat others well if they have value to them. Just like then, if you hadn't given me money, I wouldn't have talked to you for so long. I myself am a pragmatic person. Ethan Ha was silent for a very long time. Just when I thought he wouldn't say anything more, he suddenly spoke up. It's not the same. Back then, you were just trying to survive. If you had an ordinary family like everyone else, I believe you wouldn't have done that. You say people now only look at status to treat others, right? But I'm rich enough, aren't I? My friendship with you, is it because of your money? No, it's simply because I like who you are. His words stunned me. From childhood, no one had ever said such things to me. I had never truly felt liked by anyone. But I secretly glanced at him, carefully asking, "But Ethan Ha, do you like me because I'm me, or because I resemble Olivia Yang?" I wasn't stupid. Even though he never said it, I could feel the special affection he had for Olivia Yang. Of course, it's because. He was about to answer, but just then his phone rang. He glanced at the caller ID, frowned, and answered the call. Just a few seconds later, he exclaimed in surprise, "What? Olivia Yang has really been found?" The moment I heard that, all sorts of emotions surged in my heart. There was surprise, curiosity, but most of all relief. Good. I no longer had to live a fake life. Ethan Ha and I were summoned back to the Yang family. After all, this matter directly concerned both of us. Ethan Ha had firmly asserted that I was Olivia Yang, and I had been pretending to be the young lady all this time. In the grand hall of the Yang family, the real girl named Olivia Yang sat calmly beside Mr. Yang. She was elegantly dressed, her skin fair, exuding a natural aristocratic air. Indeed, a counterfeit could never compare to the genuine article. Even after being lost for so many years, the noble blood in her remained unchanged. She looked at me curiously, seemingly wanting to observe what the person who impersonated her looked like. I felt utterly ashamed. Mr. Yang spoke first. "Ethan Ha, I trusted you so much, yet you dared to deceive me. If I hadn't timely retracted the search for her, if I hadn't fortunately found Olivia, would you have let this old man regret for the rest of his life?" Ethan Ha bowed his head very low. "I apologize, Chairman Yang. This time it's truly my fault. But please rest assured, as a junior, I know what I should do." Mr. Yang laughed coldly. "Who doesn't know that your Ha family is wealthy? But in this matter, do you also plan to use money to silence me? I heard you found a fake young lady and even let her steal things at the banquet. If you can't give me an explanation, fine. I've already called Mia Lam. Today, I want to see how this matter should be resolved." As soon as he finished speaking, Mia Lam walked in from outside. But just then, the real girl named Olivia Yang suddenly stood up excitedly, her face filled with hatred. "It's her." The real Olivia Yang pointed directly at Mia Lam, looking towards Mr. Yang. "Dad, it's her. Although most of my memories before 8 years old are gone, I can never forget the mole at the corner of her eye. It was her who said she would take me to play, but in the end, she left me alone, causing me to be kidnapped by human traffickers." Her words made the entire room fall silent. Mia Lam momentarily panicked. "Vivian, we were best friends when we were little. Besides, the day you went missing, I hadn't even been to your house." Mr. Yang also became hesitant. "Vivian, when you went missing, Mia was only 8 years old. Why would she harm you?" Moreover, that day, I checked the cameras countless times. Mia never appeared. Olivia Yang took step after step towards Mia Lam. "You told me to come to your house to play, and specifically told me not to tell Dad, telling me to go out through the back door. But as soon as I got to the back door, someone knocked me out. When I woke up, I was in a strange place. Before, my memories of this were very vague, but the moment I saw you, everything became terrifyingly clear." Mr. Yang trembled as he asked again, "Olivia Yang, Vivian, are your words all true?" Olivia Yang nodded firmly. Mr. Yang turned his gaze to Mia Lam, filled with disappointment. "Mia, after Vivian went missing, you always came to comfort me. You always told me that Vivian would definitely return. Do you know, to some extent, I regarded you as my own daughter. But I didn't expect that the one who caused Vivian to go missing was you." Mia Lam gave a faint, sarcastic laugh. "Regard me as your daughter? You actually managed to say that. I've played this role for so many years with both effort and hardship, but what about you? It sounds good, but in reality, you didn't give me any benefits at all." Even when this fake Olivia Yang appeared, you treated me as if I didn't exist. All good things went to her. Why? Why couldn't I have what Olivia Yang has? Mr. Yang was so heartbroken he clutched his chest. Mia, you're too much. I will absolutely not let this go. I will definitely make you pay. But Mia Lam seemed to have anticipated his reaction. She laughed coldly. So many years have passed. What do you think you can investigate? I'm not a human trafficker. At most, it was just a malicious prank to get her out of the house. What reason will you use to convict me? Just then, a voice came from behind. Not constituting human trafficking, what about intentional assault and hiring someone for murder? I turned around to look. It was Yansu leading Hannah Sue. Behind them were many more people. I even saw Liam Kwong. Mia Lam's face immediately changed. Yansu walked closer, confronting Mia Lam. So, you dare to do it but not admit it. What about those two girls? You even bribed criminals to kill someone. Mia Lam's face was panicked, but she still tried to remain calm. Young Master Su, what are you talking about? I don't understand anything. Yansu seemed to have anticipated that she would completely deny it, so he played a recording on his phone. It was a conversation between him and the thugs. I heard you received money. Whose money was it? Young Master Su, we beg you, you know the rules of this business. We can't disclose transaction information. If you tell me now, it'll be as if nothing happened. But if I have to investigate it myself, then you won't have an easy time. The thugs, hearing that, panicked. Young Master Su, it was Miss Mia Lam of the Lam family. She's also your neighbor. Mia Lam's face immediately turned pale after hearing the recording. I leaned closer to Hannah Sue, whispering, "Don't tell me, in this situation, Yansu looks quite cool." Hannah Sue subtly curved the corner of her mouth, a hint of pride in her eyes. Not bad. By this time, Chairman Yang naturally understood that Mia Lam was indirectly admitting to hiring someone for murder. He angrily roared, "Mia Lam, you just wait. I'll make sure you rot in jail for the rest of your life." Having navigated Beijing's business world for decades, he still had some connections. But unexpectedly, at this moment, Liam Kwong also spoke up. "Just now, I heard Miss Lam here say that the human trafficking case happened a long time ago. But coincidentally, my brother was present at the scene of Olivia Yang's kidnapping that year. He can help find the mastermind behind that kidnapping. However, Mia was probably still young at that time, so there must have been someone else secretly assisting and behind this." Chairman Yang pondered when he heard that. I also gradually realized that this was originally a long-planned conspiracy. The Lam family wanted to gain influence over the Yang family, and their chosen method was to make the Yang family's young lady disappear, then have their own daughter continuously comfort Chairman Yang for the past 10 years, slowly gaining his trust. If Chairman Yang had truly trusted her, I'm afraid there would have been many more terrifying things waiting for the Yang family. Everyone gasped in cold air. Finally, Mia Lam was arrested by the police for hiring someone for murder. At the same time, the police would also use her to reinvestigate Olivia Yang's disappearance 10 years ago. This online love scandal finally concluded with Olivia Yang's return and Mia Lam's arrest. Everything that happened in the past few days felt like a dream. I too once dreamed, I wish I were really Olivia Yang. But unfortunately, in the end, I wasn't. As Mia Lam was being led away, I also left the Yang family. Before I left, I saw Ethan Ha chatting with Olivia Yang. Indeed, a talented man and a beautiful woman, a young master and a young lady, truly a perfect match. As I walked out of the Yang family mansion, Liam Kwong ran after me and called out, "Vivian, do you want to go back and see the gang leader one last time? After you and Hannah left, he missed you two very much." I was silent for a moment, but finally shook my head. Although the gang leader had raised us, Hannah Sue and I had also lived in extreme hardship every day. I couldn't forgive the past version of myself for him. Liam Kwong saw me refuse and didn't force me. I understand. After all, the gang leader really was at fault. He raised you two only to train you as assistants. I understand you and Hannah. From now on, I hope you two will definitely live well. Liam Kwong waved goodbye. In that moment, I finally felt a sense of relief. The painful past of so many years also seemed to have truly ended here. I moved back into the university dorm. After Hannah Sue learned I was back at school, she immediately followed me. I teased her. "Why aren't you staying in the big, beautiful villa Yan Su gave you anymore?" She barely hesitated. "If you're not there, how can it be called home?" But then she also revealed the deeper reason. "I feel that the social status gap between Yan Su and me is still too great. I don't think we'll have a future together. So, it's better to end it early. If I don't intend to accept him, then of course I can't accept that house. Hannah Sue was a person of great principle. I asked her, so does Yansu know your thoughts yet? What did he say? Hannah Sue shook her head. I just texted him one sentence. We can't be, then immediately blocked him. I was a little surprised because I had also blocked Ethan Ha, but it didn't matter. Without men on our minds, studying naturally became easier. Free from all the troubles, Hannah Sue and I could finally fully enjoy university life. We went to class together, studied together, and enjoyed delicious meals at the cafeteria together. We thought life would continue like this. But then, something unexpected happened. Someone leaked the information that Hannah Sue and I had once been raised by criminals and posted it on the school forum. Many people discussed it. Am I seeing things? Isn't that the girlfriend of the Crown Prince of Beijing, and also the daughter the Yang family just took back? The information above is too slow. Vivian Song is not the daughter of the Yang family. The real biological daughter was found long ago. A girl who simultaneously flirts with a top star and is rumored to be the girlfriend of Beijing's richest young master, who is also a fake heiress and was even raised by criminals. If you link these pieces of information and think deeper, could she be a gold digger trained by criminals? The school forum was flooded with comments. Everyone seemed convinced that from the very beginning, I approached everyone only for money. This girl looks so beautiful, but it turns out she's a gold digger. Not surprising at all. I feel like she's not a good person anyway. How can someone who's entangled with two men at once be a good person? That's right, who knows, maybe there are more than just two. In an instant, Hannah Sue and I were once again caught in the eye of public opinion. People used the words greedy, gold digger, and promiscuous to attack me. But just then, Ethan Ha posted something on Weibo. It's not that my girlfriend wants money, it's that I willingly gave her money. Those who are not involved, please do not fabricate stories when you don't know the truth. At the same time, Yansu also posted a picture of himself with Hannah Sue, along with the caption, "This is my girlfriend. Miss Song is not two-timing. I hope everyone doesn't misunderstand." He also didn't forget to add a sentence. "Girlfriend, when will you unblock me?" Immediately, the keywords, Crown Prince of Beijing and top star are two-timing, shot straight to the hot trends. Everyone immediately no longer had time to discuss Hannah Sue and me, but instead rushed to Weibo to follow the drama. Meanwhile, Hannah Sue and I were intercepted by Ethan Ha and Yan Su on our way back to the dorm. Yan Su grabbed Hannah Sue's hand, tears welling up. "Hannah, what did I do wrong? Why did you block me?" My brain was fried. Hannah Sue pulled Yan Su aside to talk, while Ethan Ha and I stood there looking at each other awkwardly. Ethan Ha looked at me for a long time. "Why did you block me?" I clutched the hem of my shirt, my voice hesitant. "Olivia Yang has really returned. I think there's no need for us to stay in contact." Ethan Ha frowned, puzzled. "What does her return have to do with whether we continue to be in contact?" "Of course it does. You like her, don't you? Then between us, there's no need to continue this entanglement." Ethan Ha pointed at himself. "You said I like Olivia Yang?" At his question, I felt a little angry. If you don't like her, then why were you so eager to find the person who harmed her? If you like her, then now that she's back, there's even less need for us to drag this out. I had made myself so clear. This time, he should understand, right? But unexpectedly, he laughed. "I understand, but I wanted to find the culprit not because I like her, but because on the day she went missing, we had plans to play together, but I refused. So, for the past 10 years, I've always regretted it. If I had agreed to go with her that day, would she still have gone missing?" Hearing his explanation, I finally understood why he was so persistent about the Olivia Yang case. While I was still thinking, Ethan Ha suddenly spoke up. "So do you understand now? I don't like her." He looked directly into my eyes, his gaze firm. If you can you give me a chance to pursue you?" I was stunned, not out of joy, but because of mixed emotions. I clearly understood the gap between him and me. Although I also had feelings for him, after being together, the problems we would face might not be solved by love alone. After a moment of thought, I looked up. "Ethan Ha, can you give me some time? I don't need time to think about liking you, but I need time to make myself more outstanding, to bridge the gap between us." That year, after the university entrance exam, he looked at our scores. One got 670 points, the other 665 points, his face full of astonishment. But I didn't want my future days to be spent just waiting for someone else to come to my rescue. Ethan Ha chuckled. He nodded. "Actually, that answer suits you very well, I understand. At this moment, Hannah Sue had also finished talking with Yan Su and returned. We looked at each other, smiling knowingly. I knew we had made the same choice. Life can't always rely on luck. Only when you become outstanding yourself can you confidently embrace love and opportunities that come your way. 4 years later, Hannah Sue and I successfully earned full scholarships to study abroad. 6 years later, while studying and researching, we seized opportunities and earned our first capital. Finally, we decided to return to our home country and move our headquarters back home. On the day of our return, both Ethan Ha and Yan Su came to pick us up. This time, our meeting was no longer rushed as it was many years ago. We were no longer impoverished girls in ragged clothes. This time, we finally had enough confidence to hold their hands,